Alright guys, so I want to be upfront with you about something before we get into today's video. I am naturally frugal, like genuinely frugal. Even before I got the company car for the company that I work for, I used to drive a 19-year-old car. I don't wear any jewelry, I don't chase designer clothes, or even anything flashy. So when I tell you that there are things that I will absolutely spend good money on without hesitation, I need you to understand that this list is very short and very intentional. Now, before I dive into this video, in case you're new around here, my name's Nima and welcome to the channel. I'm a corporate executive with over 15 years of experience in both sales and finance. My videos break down complex financial concepts to help you on your financial journey, whether you're just starting out or if you're already a seasoned pro. So guys, let's jump into today's video topic, which is 7 things that are 100% worth the money. So let's not waste any time and get right into it. Now I do ask that you stay with me all the way to the end of the video because the last thing on this list is the one that most people overlook or completely talk themselves out of. And it might be the one that changes your quality of life, in my opinion, the most. These are not luxury purchases or lifestyle upgrades for the sake of looking good. These are the specific categories where spending more actually protects your time, your health, your wealth, and your peace. And most importantly, where being cheap almost always costs you more in the long run. Alright, so number 1 on the list, and I'm putting this first because I think it deserves to be there, is just peace and quiet. And I mean that literally. Where you live, the environment you come home to every single day, the level of calm or chaos surrounding your personal space, that is worth paying more for. Personally, guys, I grew up in areas where you had to look around every time you pulled up to your own house. I grew up in a city called Pomona, California, which honestly is a great city, but in certain areas might not be. I personally had to stay on guard just stepping out of my car or even walking into my house for a long portion of my life. The neighborhood was a constant low-grade stress on my nervous system. And I'm telling you from experience, it took a very big toll on my mental health, my sleep, and my ability to think clearly, and it weighed on my relationships over time in ways that most people don't fully recognize until they've experienced such a thing. And now the older that I get, the less impressed I am by noise and constant stimulation. I value peace, calmness, serenity. I value being able to sit in my own space and actually hear myself think. Everybody's out here chasing more stuff, more experiences, more everything. But sometimes the real win in life is protecting your peace. Paying a little extra to live somewhere calm, to have a workspace at home that isn't chaotic, to have less drama on the block, that is 100% worth it. Now, number 2 on my list is your health. And guys, this is one that I feel just as strongly about. Having a gym membership, good walking shoes, regular doctor visits, quality food, supplements, therapy, whether that's mental or physical, whatever your body needs to function at its best. Me personally, I shop at Whole Foods or Sprouts or places that are like farmers markets. I always buy organic, I read the labels constantly to see what ingredients are in there, and I know some people hear that and they immediately think that it's too expensive. But here's my honest take. A lot of people will spend $700 a month on a car payment without blinking at it and then say that they can't afford quality food or a decent pair of shoes. And honestly, that math doesn't add up to me. Your health is what fuels everything else in your life. Your energy, your mood, your mental clarity, your relationships, your ability to show up and do the work consistently, day after day. When your health declines, everything else gets harder as well. And the older you get, the more obvious and undeniable that becomes. Okay? So number 3 on my list, and this one is deeply personal to me, is just time with your family. Not just being around your family, but actually investing in the moments, the experiences, the presence. Money can be rebuilt, guys, but time cannot. It is the one resource that once it's spent, it's gone permanently. And there's no amount of financial success that can buy it back. One of my personal regrets in my life is that I didn't do more of those big experiences with some of my cousins or other family members. But I am fortunate enough that I was able to do it with my parents, constantly taking them on vacation, being able to experience travel and different sites with them, and being able to retain those memories for the long run. And so again, what I've learned with spending time and investing that money with your family is that most of the time, people don't remember the expensive things that you did. But what they do remember is that you showed up, that you were present, that your attention was on them and not somewhere else. And that said, when you do have the opportunity to create a real memory, a real experience, something that brings people together and gives everyone something to hold on to, that is honestly worth worth every single dollar. And so please, don't let frugality become an excuse to miss the moments that actually matter. You can be smart with the money and still invest generously in the people that you love. All right? Now, number 4 on my list is real estate. And guys, this is my personal favorite financial item on this entire list. A good investment property can produce income for years, build equity over time, hedge against inflation, and create generational wealth in a way that almost nothing else can match. And some of the best money that I've ever spent in my life went into real estate. And sure, I've made my fair share of mistakes along the way. I won't pretend otherwise. But I held on, and the long-term results speak for themselves. Now, I'm not saying to you guys to just go and buy anything. You still have to run the numbers, understand the location, understand potential tenants and the maintenance involved, and you need to buy wisely, of course. But real estate done right will change your financial future. Please, guys, don't sleep on real estate. Alright, I quickly want to say if this video is giving you guys any value so far, please show some love by smashing that like button, leaving a comment down below, and subscribing. Your support genuinely helps this channel grow, so please show some love by smashing that like button, leaving a comment down below, and subscribing. Alright, now let's move on to the next segment. Okay, so number 5 on my list, and this is something a lot of people resist but shouldn't, is getting professional help when you need it. Guys, a good CPA, a solid attorney, a financial planner for specific decisions as your wealth grows. These are not luxuries. These are investments in protecting what you've worked to build. Here's what I've learned. The cheap way out is sometimes the wrong way. Trying to do everything yourself to save a few $100s can cost you tens of thousands of dollars down the road in mistakes that a professional would have caught immediately. For example, for the times that I've formed LLCs for my rental properties, my businesses, I didn't do it myself, even though it's not complicated. I used an attorney because I wanted it done right the very first time. And a good CPA can find deductions and strategies that more than pay their fee every single year. And a good attorney can protect your assets in ways that you wouldn't even think to look for on your own. These are people that are specialized in their niches, and they're gonna know more than you anyway. So it's worth spending that money to save yourself time. At the end of the day, guys, the more wealth that you build, the more critical it becomes to have specialists around you. Not because you can't learn things, but because specialization exists for a reason, and your time and energy are best spent on what you do best. Okay? Now, number 6 on my list connects directly to what I just said, and that is estate planning. An estate plan might be the best $2,000 to $5,000 that you ever spend in your entire life, and yet most people, unfortunately, never do it. You work your whole life building assets, a home, retirement accounts, maybe some investments or a business, and then you never properly structure what happens to all of it when you're gone. A proper estate plan includes the right will, the right trust structure, powers of attorney, and healthcare directives. And when it's done correctly, it can keep your estate largely out of probate and protect your family from legal and financial messes down the road, probably at the worst possible moment in your life. And these are things to really think about if you have children, properties, retirement accounts, or any meaningful level of wealth. This conversation needs to happen. Of course, it's not fun to think about. It's probably something that you don't even want to discuss with your family in general, but it is absolutely necessary. And just to give you guys an idea, unfortunately, not too long ago, my own cousin passed away. And at the time, she did not set up a trust or a will or anything of that nature. And so in order to get the property back onto her mother's name and even other family members, just to make sure that everything was done correctly, we had to hire the right attorney to make sure that everything was done and recorded by the county's office. So again, guys, these are things to really think about because you don't want to end up paying taxes on these items for something that could have rightfully been passed down to you as the next heir. Okay? And last but not least, number 7 on my list, and this is the one that I told you to stay for, so I appreciate you watching this all the way through, and that is quality for the things that you use every single day. For example, your bed, your desk chair, a good couch, quality shoes that you wear daily. These are not places to be cheap. And here's the honest math on this. When you buy the cheapest version of something that you use every day, you end up replacing it over and over. And in the long run, you spend more money than if you had just bought the quality item once in the first place. Cheap furniture tears up fast. Cheap shoes hurt your feet and your back and cost you in your health. A bad mattress affects your sleep, which affects everything from your mood to your productivity to your immune system. And there are certain things in life where quality genuinely pays for itself over time, and the daily use items are almost always on that list. Guys, honestly, it's simple. Buy good things, take care of them, and make them last. And here's the bigger picture that I want you to walk away with from all 7 of these items. None of them are about looking wealthy or impressing anyone. Every single one of them is about protecting something that genuinely matters. Your health, your peace, your time, your relationships, your financial future, and honestly, your legacy. Because being frugal isn't a virtue, but frugality that costs you your health, your family time, your legal protection, or your peace of mind is not frugality. It's false economy. The goal is not to spend as little as possible on everything. That would be a ridiculous video. The goal is to spend intentionally, to be cheap where cheap is smart, and to spend freely where the return on that investment is your quality of life. Guys, again, I want to thank you for watching this video all the way through. Please like, comment, and subscribe. If you do comment, let me know. What is one thing on or off this list that you think is absolutely worth the money no matter what? As you guys know, I read every single comment and tend to comment on them as well, so I'm genuinely curious about what are things that you like to spend money on. Again, thank you guys for watching this video all the way through. Subscribe so you don't miss the next video I put out every other day. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video.